All right, hey, the Talking Guitar series, my mood series, the conversation that we can get into with our intervals and our talking, our dynamics, how we express ourselves in the moods, my guitar philosophy of the five senses. Okay, it all comes together when you hear a guitar player talk, or the solo talks, or the way the chords are being played, it talks, it says something to you, it actually speaks. It's actually in a conversation. Let me do something, I think I've covered this before on the Patreon and maybe on the Guitar Time for You, but just a simple, won't you talk to me? So I'm in the key of A here, okay? Oh, won't you talk to me? If I voice that up higher, that sounds like maybe the female voice. This is maybe the male voice. Won't you talk to me? What if I did it down here? If I went to, well, that's the same voicing here, but it's like a lower voice. That's kind of like the grandfather, the older voice, okay? And so I've got 3, 4 voicing, and even if I went way up here on this guitar, it would end up in A up here. That's like the child voice, that little girl, or that little guy, So we've got these other voices. Oh, won't you talk to me, baby? Oh, won't you talk to me, baby? She's talking to me, right? Or the little one's talking to me. So I'm talking. The guitar is talking. If I do, I'm doing that. So I can talk. I can say sentences. I can express like I'm talking in a paragraph or a sentence. I can put the question marks in there. So the techniques like sliding or vibrato, and then I answered that, So it doesn't have to be exactly the same riff, but it can be an answer to that riff. So if I do, and then I come up here and I go, so I got deeper into it. My arpeggio might talk. So I'm expressing myself like I'm saying a sentence, like, and then I come up here. Maybe I'm in the key of E and I'm doing like, and then I answer. And then I come back to. So how many voices could I have? Well, it could be a conversation of me and my other voice, or me and the female voice, or the female, or the grandpa. It could be, or in politics, I could be, doing the, a nice, nice mellow. And then comes the MAGA, the Trumpers, and then my answer. And then I go, then I answer, and then I pissed off those. Okay. So the expression, the moods, when I, do a Trump shuffle, I can smell it. It doesn't smell nice. The texture's not a nice texture. The vision I have is not when I got that tritone in there. The vision's not nice. My senses are not good. It's that dissonance of the tritone here. Or it was the dissonance when I use a tritone and maybe a minor sixth or a minor second. Tritone. So there's intervals that are dissonance and consonance. That adds to the expression. Do I want to say something good or do I want to say something bad? Albert Kahn said that. Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you. That's swearing, okay? It's not for kids, right? And then, fuck you. The girl says it back to him, or the wife or whatever. So I'm talking. The guitar is talking. Yeah, I can talk with chords. I can talk with the progression. And then I might go. And then I go. Talk. Augmented talking. Or how do I answer that? Or diminished, And then so there's answering. And then I go, and then I posed a question, and then I go, yeah. Or maybe it's a nice, real pretty, but then I get, the Trinity, I can talk with chords. I can have a conversation with chords, arpeggios and arpeggios, or melodies, little melodies I come up with. Like that little melody, now I want to answer that. So the riff answer, talk, answering what you play. Okay, making it a conversation, and conversation sometimes have expression of you kind of that seriousness, but then that, and then. So I'm speaking. Am I speaking in long riffs? Now my answer is going to be either short, or maybe I have a long answer to that riff. And then So conversation, making your guitar have conversations. You need to think about this and expressing yourself. try to come in and go, okay, well, I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna say a riff, and maybe I have the words that go along with it. I feel like I got the blues, and then you answer, but I know I can get the blues again, and I can get it to use the blues in life, to take a journey groovy. Right? So what am I saying? It could be a number of things, right? But when you hear a guitar player play, that you go, wow, he's saying something or she's saying something. That's a really positive thing about improvising, right? And soloing. It could be other instruments and stuff, but a guitar player, you walk in and you're in the club or wherever, and that person all of a sudden is like, he's being expressive, and that he plays a riff, and then it seems like he's answering that riff. The expression of what am I saying? Maybe I'm afraid, scared. Maybe I'm swearing, maybe it's not nice at all. Or maybe it's that and that, the diminished thing. Or maybe it's just, expressing nice. So I'm going to do more videos on this, so please stay tuned. You can do the search if you're on YouTube and search my different playlists that I have. And the same thing if you're on my Patreon. You can learn to use the search. You type in guitar talking maybe, okay? Or guitar conversations, moods, all these words that will lead you to videos I've done. I've done hundreds of videos for YouTube, and I've done, actually, I think I'm way nearing 800 on my Patreon. And then if you join my Patreon, you get all my charts and stuff, all the extras and the extra lectures, and I get so much deeper into it. But you got to subscribe at a level where you're giving me a couple bucks or buying me a coffee every month or something like that, Or you might even want lessons with me. That's where you go over to the Patreon and you join, subscribe, and me and you can get together, okay? Through the Patreon, Guitar Zone, okay? So I'll put this on the video where you could go over there and check it out. And I really hope you subscribe. That's really allowing me to keep going with these videos. I want to teach you to talk. I want your guitar to talk. So when people go, they hear you, you're actually talking to them, And that's the expression and the creativity that puts you in a better way than a person that doesn't know how to do that. The guitar players that just play songs, and but what about the guy that you hear, or the gal? Wow, that guitar is talking. It's telling me something. Yeah. Wow, I get it, Or maybe, wow, it's a mystery, but that's so cool. That's so groovy. Okay? Anyways, I really want you to subscribe, but make sure you hit the like on this video. Hit the like, because that helps. And if you watch it all the way to the end, I think that's been great. You've hung in with me. I appreciate that when you watch my videos, because you never know what I'm going to do from the beginning when I start a video till I get to the end and in between. All that said, I appreciate you, and I really would love you to be in my guitar family so we can jam together. We can do some things. I can answer your questions. If you have questions, put them in the comment, and I'll get back to you, especially if you're on my Guitar Zone family. If you're over there and you've subscribed, I'm really, going to give you good answers and maybe even just message you. We'll get a thing going. Maybe we'll have lessons. Wow, how cool could that be? Groovy, way groovy. Anyways, I know I'm not like other guitar players and other teachers. I'm a little bit different. I know that, but that's not a bad thing. It has its positive. But I'm a blues guy, and I'm living the blues in my life too. This nice hippie pad that I'm in here, it kind of gets me thinking that everything's going to be all right, and I'm just going to keep playing, but I got that blues, There's that minor. What am I saying? Am I crying? Anyways, hope you stay in with me and learn to use the search. I really hope you do that because there's so many. I've done so many videos. Don't forget, I did the 365 videos, and they're for the YouTubers, and also on the Patreon, you can go and you can have a lesson with me every day. You can go from 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 365 videos in order. And I've done some talking videos there too, but it's like I geared it kind of for beginners and intermediates to get into how to learn your guitar. The Trinity, scale chord arpeggio, using your 5 forms, unlocking the fretboard. Anyways, this is less than a half size. It's very small neck. So I'm having a lot of fun playing on this tiny neck of this Vox guitar. Okay. All right. Enough is enough, right? I know. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you can, okay? I really would be way groovy.